إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وخليله بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة فجزاه الله خير ما جاز به نبيا عن أمته. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد. My respected brothers, my respected elders, and my dear youth, it is indeed an honor and pleasure for every one of us to come and enhance our ability to find out the different modes of giving adhan, different types, and try to take one template out of the different samples that you're going to see today. And inshallah, accordingly, we will go forward. Before I start the actual session, I'm just going to run you very quickly with the different tones and samples of adhan. The most common types are from Ardul Hijaz, known as Hijazi adhan. And the next category is from the area of Sham. So there are Hijazi and Sham. I'll define what Ardul Hijaz means. It is Saudi Arabia, it is Oman, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, Dubai, and all of those areas. And Sham is Jordan, Syria, Egypt, North Africa, Morocco, Algeria, and all of those places. And each of them, Hijazi and Sham, have at least three types. One is the short, the other one is the medium, and then you have the long. And inshallah, before we go on to the next topic, which is the samples, I'll just mention very briefly the names of the famous muazzin of this century. First one is Sheikh Ali Mullah from Makkah al-Mukarramah. The second one is Sheikh Isam al-Bukhari from Medina, and it is an amazing fact that he is one of the best muazzins of this present Muslim world, who has at least 70 different types of adhans. You have another older muazzin from Mecca, Hussein Rajab. And then from the area of Sham, from Egypt, you have Sheikh Abdul Basit Abdul Samad, a famous reciter. And then you have also a very famous reciter and a muazzin, Sheikh Ahmad al-Imadi from Qatar. Then you have Sheikh Mustafa Ghalwesh from Egypt. And then you have Sheikh Abdul Fattah Sha'isha from Egypt, and many others. The time does not permit for us to go into depth. What we are going to do today is actually take all of the famous reciters, famous muazzins, and put all of those templates into a very big mixer. And out will come different tones, which will be a mixture of all the nice tones. And then I'm going to give you those samples. I'm going to give you a mixture of short form, a medium form, and a long form. And from the audience, I would humbly request you to give me the feedback so that we can assist you with those templates, inshallah. How to deliver adhan. Before you start adhan, there are a few prerequisites. There are a few notes, there are a few tips that needed to be addressed. Always keep your stomach empty. Yes, you can make adhan with your stomach a little bit, full, but the voice would not be as good and as crisp as it would be if your stomach is empty. Don't use too much nasal sound, meaning too much sound from your nose. If your throat has problem, always try to clear that with some water before you make the adhan. Also, another tendency that most of the students, whether it's a recitation class or an adhan session, many people, when they are asked to come to the podium, to the microphone, they start to clear their throat too much. And I don't know, they imagine that by clearing the throat, they are going to become a magical muazzin or a magical reciter. The more time they try to clear their throat, that's actually going to just ruin your vocal cord, and it will inflammate those parts. Don't strain too much. Those were just few tips that are like prerequisites before you go to the Adhan. I thought of just mentioning a very interesting aspect for Adhan is the use of proper system basic requirements. I want to thank the organizers, and I want to thank my respected brother who has been very kind to share this beautiful system with us. In order for someone to share something, we have to have some kind of knowledge. There are many centers, there are many masajid in the campus and off the campus. Some of the masajid have the system, some of the masajid do not have the system. And if they do have the system, some of them have too much echo or too much delay or too much reverb, and that requires a little bit of technical knowledge. And alhamdulillah, being an electronic engineer, it helps me to understand the technical aspects of those. The first thing is reverb. Before even we switch on the system, I'll explain to you what reverb is. Reverb is something, if someone says Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Akbar, the sound that comes at the end, that is reverb. But the next part is called delay or echo, which is Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Akbar, Akbar. That is called delay. If you combine both of them together, and then you can feel the effect. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. So that is the effect of both the reverb and the delay. This next part, which is the last one and most important, is your voice level. It doesn't matter how much reverb and echo or delay you have, if the microphone volume is low, you'll have to strain your throat too much. And by the time you go to the first or the second phrase of the Adhan, your whole energy is gone. Your energy should be at such a level that as soon as the first Adhan is finished, you should be able to give at least 10 more Adhans after that. And that is the top quality of a muezzin. It's a very hard thing, but it can come through practice. There are a few other things that I forgot to mention in the previous slides. That's why we are putting this. The standing style, which is important, because if you're crouching down, you won't be able to make Adhan properly. You have to make sure that your lungs are standing straight and you're facing the Kaaba and the Qibla properly, and your head and neck is nice and straight and long. If you keep your head and neck shorter and shorter, the vocal cord is compressed. It's something like take your hand like this and compress, the sound will go like that. Take it away, the sound will go like this. It is a natural phenomena that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made us. Then the breathing style. In order for us to understand the breathing style, in just a few minutes or just an hour or 2 hours, it's very hard for me to do the breathing session with you, but I will just give you the golden tips that are required for you to deep breathely, so that you will be able to make the Adhan nice and long. And the way you do it is breathe from your stomach, not from your lungs. The first tip is when you inhale oxygen feeling that your stomach is becoming bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger. So when you're going to go, your stomach is full. When you exhale, so the stomach is becoming empty. So if you practice like this few times, then you become very strong. That's why breathing is really important. And in order for that, there are many different techniques, which is the martial arts techniques, like breathing in the morning, because it is very fresh air, and practicing after Salatul Fajr. Improving your voice. Many people might say, you know what? I don't have a very nice voice. My voice is too low, my voice is too scratchy, my voice is too thick, my voice is too thin. All of those excuses. These are nothing but excuses. Okay, I want to emphasize the fact that Rasulullah mentioned in a hadith. This has to do with the aspect of recitation. وَالَّذِي يَقْرَأُ الْقُرْآنَ وَيَتَتَعْتَعُ فِيهِ وَهُوَ عَلَيْهِ شَاقٌ لَهُ أَجْرًا. And the person who recites the Qur'an and struggles in it and has difficulty will get double reward. The question is, how many of us are trying to struggle and trying to, do our best? So we do our best. Whatever comes out of our practice will result in that product. If you practice every single day, then inshallah you will come to a certain level when you mark your calendar from day 1 to day 10 or day 20 or however number of days you want to practice. Now the technique comes very simple. I'm going to give you only 3 things. In Arabic they are called huruf maddiyah. Alif, waw and ya. These are universal huruf, letters, a, e, u in Arabic for recitation of the Quran, for making adhan. E, u. This is very simple, but you add one wave to it. E, u. You add one wave, now you add 2 waves. E, u. Once you understand this technique, this template, now you put this template into anything. For example, you have the first phrase of Allahu Akbar. How we are going to do that? Sometimes when we are practicing too much, we get a little bit discouraged. There are a few things that you need to understand: dedication, consistency. If you want to grab something, if you want to achieve something, you have to just keep working at it, inshallah. Practice, practice, and most important, as I mentioned, never get discouraged, because it takes a little bit of time, effort, and the technique. That's all I need to tell you about the techniques and the tips. Now I'm going to give you the samples, inshallah, and you have to remember the samples in your mind and give me. I'm going to label the samples as sample A, sample B, sample C, and depending upon those samples, I'm going to ask the audience which sample you want to practice today, and then inshallah we'll break the sample into different pieces and give you the template for it, where you can take your voice and I'm going to project your voice into that template, inshallah. Sample number A. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Sample number B. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Sample number C. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. So there you have 3 samples: sample A, sample B, sample C. Now, which sample do you want to practice? Sample A? Okay. Inshallah. So what we'll do is, for 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, we'll practice each of the samples. So if I can ask the brothers who are interested in sample A to form a group, one group, sample B one group, and sample C one group. That way it will be easier for me, because you will be asked to come to the podium and I'm going to give you the microphone to make you feel how your voice sounds in the microphone, inshallah. So just take a few minutes to organize yourselves. Sample A one group, sample B one group, and sample C another group, inshallah.